I'm here with the amazing TV sensation, Howard Cooper. The reason why I say TV sensation, Howard, you've been on TV recently and you're going on again. Tell us about it.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I ended up on BBC Morning Live, doing a segment on anxiety and really how we can manage panic attacks and showing some practical strategies. And it's so nice to be in on a national show where we actually get some of the techniques that we all know and love and be able to demonstrate that stuff without falling into the let's go down the psychoanalytical route and keep peddling the idea that people have to be week in, week out therapy and so on. So yeah, no, that was great, and yeah, looking forward to going back next week and doing an anxiety clinic, taking callers' questions who are ringing in. So I'm really excited about that.
I am super excited as well because you are coming to the US of A and you are flying
I
across the
know.
pond. You're coming to Massachusetts to my training center to train about your willingness ladder. So let's get into why people should attend live, a little bit of history behind the willingness ladder. I'm
Yep.
just going to let you talk for a little bit.
Okay, I mean, I have to tell you, in the last 2.5, 3 years of my therapeutic work, I developed this thing called the willingness ladder. And to say I am passionate about it is an understatement. And the reason I'm passionate about it is because it's so flipping effective and versatile. And I am not a cheap therapist, right? There are people who often balk at how much I charge, yet almost without fail, we do a couple of sessions. And when I do a catch up call and find out they're getting on great, I often ask them, what's the thing that made the difference? What's the thing that stood out for you that really helped this all kind of go in for you? And almost without fail, the one thing they always refer to is that set of questions you did at the end that you called the willingness ladder. That's the thing. And because of those results that I was getting, I put together an online program. I started sharing it around, and there are about 250, 260 therapists now all around the world doing it. And some of the results that they are reporting are equally astounding. And every time I go somewhere and someone goes, I've done the training, it's brilliant, and I'm getting this, it's fantastic. The results are great. However, and there is a big but.
I love big butts,
Thank you,
and I
thank you, thank
cannot
you,
lie.
thank you. Yep. However good the online training is, and I'm going to be honest, it is really good.
It
It's
is good.
very,
I'm in it.
right. When everything gets broken down very carefully, nice concepts. There's some demos you can watch. The problem is it doesn't replace live training. You could have a great martial arts online program which shows you all the moves to do and all the things to do and how to block. But unless the person is literally opposite you, getting you to practice it and then giving you direct feedback about it, it's very easy to perhaps jump to the wrong conclusion or not quite master it or get some of the nuances involved.
Right.
So I've been really passionate about finding ways in which I can get the willingness ladder and the refined ideas, the nuance, the artistry of it out there for both people that haven't come across it before and people that are already on the online program but want to do it in person. In fact, I was at an event yesterday doing a live demo at a conference over in England, and it turned out in the audience there was 25 people there at this conference, and five of them were on the online program, singing its praises. But yet they were so excited because what they saw was we got to do a real demo, and they went, oh, seeing it in the flesh and then talking to you about it and asking the questions, it made all the difference. I can't wait to go back and try some of this new stuff out.
It does. And Howard, this is a live opportunity and it's one day.
Yeah.
And we've been getting, I posted on Facebook, you sent some emails about it. I'm sending some emails about it. And the one common question that we keep getting asked is, why should we attend live? Why can't we just get the online version of it?
Yeah,
And you can get the online version of it,
absolutely.
and it's amazing, but this is going to give you the hands-on experience. Also, I have a training and therapy center. I have 6 offices where we can do breakouts and people can go and practice and be supervised as well while they're practicing. So that way they can get real experience in real time as if they're working with actual clients in my office and training center. There's 2 other reasons why people should join live. Number one, you don't come to the US every day. And
No,
I
this
you
is
don't
this is rare for me.
this is rare for you, yeah,
This will be the first time ever doing a training in the US.
in the US. And you had posted something about potentially visiting family. I said, "Hey, why don't you come in and do a training for your willingness ladder in my center?" The second reason why people should attend, I have not announced this publicly yet. This is my first time announcing this publicly. I am closing my therapy and training center. And it was a really hard decision for me to make. And I am going to be opening just like a one room office, but I don't conduct a lot of trainings anymore. So this is going to be literally the last opportunity for people to come and get trained at my hypnosis training and therapy center. And the reason why I say therapy, I have other therapists that work in my practice and everything like that. So it's not just me.
Right.
Howard, what are some of the things that the willingness ladder can be used for?
Well, I mean, I use it a lot all the time with anxiety, but it's broader than that. So I've helped people with anxiety with it. I've helped people with habits and addictions, stopping smoking, quitting drinking. Um, I've helped people with sleep-related issues. So they've got insomnia, they're running cycles of patterns that are keeping them up at night, help them with that. Pain control as well, and reducing the feeling of pain and suffering. But it's one of these things that pretty much, whether it's tinnitus, or some people say tinnitus, I'm not sure which you say over the
No
pond where
idea.
you are. Who knows, right? There you go. But any time where someone is having an experience that they do not want, and they've become hyper fixated about it, whether it's, oh, I keep getting cravings and I wish I didn't, or I keep having pain, or focusing on my tinnitus, or nail biting, anything like that, this is a really, really useful tool. And it's essentially 6 questions that take people from I don't want these thoughts all the way through to I can look forward to this experience. And somehow, when people look forward to it, the whole thing shifts. There's a psychological freedom. And the way I would describe it is this. Have you ever had the experience, Dan, when you're walking in the rain and it's pretty light at first and you think you can get out of it? So you hold the thing up above your head and you're like running for, and it starts to get heavier and heavier. And eventually
Absolutely.
you get so wet and there's nowhere to go. There's nothing you can do. You're just soaked. And there's a moment, isn't there? You know, when you just put your hands down and you just relax and
Yep.
you just kind of go,
You accept it.
ah.
Yeah. You
And
just
how
accept
does
it.
it feel
Yeah. It's
in that
like
moment?
it's a liberating feeling. It's like, okay, this is what it is right now.
Right. You surrender to the rain. And I think it's so funny because when you get to that moment of psychological liberation, when you are able to surrender to the rain, how do you feel when you still see people struggling and fighting what is? You feel that's kind of like, how little do they
Yep.
know? You know,
You coined a term. I don't know if you coined this term, but you use this term a lot that I have adopted, psychologically bulletproof.
yeah,
And
that's
this
that's the not that's the gentle version of it.
the gentle version of it. And
Yeah.
this is something that once I learned it from you, I started applying it to most of the work that I'm doing with clients, and it gets just superior results where and you had joked about this with me one time. You said, "Dan, I taught this as something you can do in conjunction with the other modalities that you're using." And you said, "But I'm hearing from a lot of my students and a lot of people who learn this that they're just using it as a standalone protocol, and it
Right.
works in and of itself as a standalone protocol or combined with other therapeutic modalities."
Right. And I think it's interesting because there are people that I've come across who are, yes, they work hypnotically or hypnotherapeutically in more traditional manners, but then they sometimes get a bit lost when if someone is not a good hypnotic responder, what do you do then? And again, people are using the willingness ladder as a really nice way of dealing with those people for whom don't traditionally respond, and it broadens out the scope of what's possible.
Right. And this is really good to help people handle their nuts. And I'm really good at helping people with their nuts. And you're really good at helping people with their nuts. And nuts, of course, stands for negative unconscious thoughts.
Oh, thank goodness.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Although in the UK, you might call them ants, automatic negative thoughts. So we can
Right.
combine them together and we can call them aunts, automatic, unconscious negative thoughts. And I
Right.
don't know about you, but my aunts caused me a lot of. You know what? We're talking about thoughts. We're still talking about thoughts. People get absorbed in these certain thought patterns, and this is also where people have intrusive thoughts, obsessive compulsive thoughts, which turn into obsessive behaviors or compulsive behaviors. So this is a really good strategy to also help your clients with that. Um, this is predominantly a therapeutic training for hypnotists, coaches, and therapists, right?
It is. It is predominantly, and anyone that comes needs to be aware that, this is for people, and it's aimed at. I'm delivering it to people that have perhaps experience working with clients, and that, having said that, if there are people who understand that that is the case, and that's the demographic, there may be people who get something from it, who begin to understand more about thought, but it's not primarily for them, for what
Right.
I would call muggles,
Muggle, yes, yeah,
the non-therapeutic folk.
non-therapeutic folk. And this is fitting because we're filming this the day after Dame Maggie Smith passed away from Harry Potter, and
Yeah,
R.I.P. to her. I absolutely loved her. Um,
me too.
this is also a rapid change protocol because this doesn't necessarily take that long to run your clients through. And I love it because I call it hypnosis without the trance, or non-trance hypnosis, or hypnosis without hypnosis. The process in and of itself is hypnotic in nature, and it's helping people make these discoveries. And in fact, I filmed a testimonial for you in the beginning when you first started marketing this. And it was something to the effect of, Howard, I can't say I hate you. Hate is a strong word. Scorn, loathe, detest, because you've made me take everything I know and question it and flop it on its side. And that
Hmm.
testimonial, it got a lot of controversy because people thought I really hated you.
Oh no, it was great. I thought it was hilarious, and yeah, not everyone's cup of tea, but I thought, but it is funny because even though we were joking, there is a nub of truth about what you said, which is one, it can be frustrating for people if they spent a lot of time, money investing in traditional approaches of hypnosis and hypnotherapy, and then suddenly they turn up somewhere and someone says, well, you know what, you can ask these 6 questions. And yes, there's a little bit of artistry involved, but very quickly people, without the stuff that you've been relying on, make these big mental shifts and then say, that's amazing. It can be quite triggering for people because they go, well, oh, what does this say about? And the reality of it is, everything can work with different people and being more armed and being open to new ideas. But yeah, I'm quite good at challenging people's ideas, So I would say it's not for people who want to kind of just go, no, no, I do what I do, and I'm not interested in learning anything else. And the way I do it is that's it. I like people who are open-minded and engaged and interested in learning and developing as change workers.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to bring you to Massachusetts. Well, I'm not bringing you to Massachusetts. You're coming to Massachusetts. I'm just hosting you in my center. And
Yep.
you will be the last training that I host. I will be closing my center down December 31st, 2024. I'm currently relocating, and I think I've already found like just a one room office because I don't need that much space anymore.
Hmm.
I am super excited to have you. I'm super excited. We already have a bunch of people that signed up. That's the other thing. So,
I know it's so cool. And if I'm understanding correctly, we've talked about whilst I know that you're closing the centre, it's also not, we're not talking like a stadium,
right,
so there are limited numbers. And I would like it to be that way because I want to be able, part of this is, yes, we talked about being live is useful, but if it's so big that there are thousands of people, I can't give people the feedback and the
right.
supervision that they need. So this is going to be, by design, limited numbers, and it's small, intimate group of people that are open-minded and that want to be a part of this, and it's just going to be the most fabulous day.
Well, let's just get real for a moment. I can only fit 16 people in my training room. We
Right.
already have, I think we have 5 or 6 people already signed up.
Yep.
So we only have about 10 spots left. And so it's going to be in Massachusetts. However, if you're in New England, you know how it goes in New England. It is, and Howard, I know like a 3 hour drive for you in the UK. is unfathomable. But for us, we're used to driving 4 or 5 hours, 5, 6 hours. And so you can come if you're in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, um, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut. You can come from any of the surrounding areas and drive there, or you can take public transport, train. You can fly there as well. There are tons of hotels in the area that are in the next town over in Marlborough, Massachusetts, and they are literally 8 minutes away. And it's about a $10 Uber drive if you want to take an Uber from one of the hotels. It's very simple, very easy to get to my training center. It's in a very central location. And we're going to bribe you. We're also going to have coffee and donuts and bagels for breakfast because who
What, like
does
American
like
donuts, an American
American
bagel,
donuts and
an
American bagels
American coffee?
that are
Oh
like
man.
this big? Yeah. And
Ooh.
we don't mess around. We're going to carb load before we do this training. I can't wait. I can't wait. So
Okay.
my so my
I
friends,
think I'll come.
what'd you say?
I'll come.
Uh,
I don't know why you're laughing.
Howard. All right, my friends. I can't wait to have this. It's Sunday, October 27th, right?
That's right. Yep.
It is going to be a 10 to 6, 10 to 5. It's going to be an all day training. So we're going to be
Yeah,
like
it's,
all
it's
day.
it's probably 10 kickoff and then, 6 or whatever. And, it'd be nice to if people want to come out for dinner, I guess, afterwards. I'm always up for it. So it's not a hard stop. It just sort of carries on for a little bit. There's always time for questions and to play and to explore together.
It's going to be a Sunday fun day, and I can't wait.
Marvelous.
All right, Howard, I look forward to finally meeting you in person in a few weeks, in about a month, actually. Yeah, a month.
Right.
I look forward to meeting you in a month.
I know.
We've been really good friends online, and we've never met in person, so this is going to be awesome. I can't
You
wait.
know when I told you I was 6'7"? I mean, I said 6'7" loosely.
Bye, Howard. Have a great day. As always, be well, do good, be true to who you are. Happy healing, happy hypnotizing, and all the other happy, dappy bullshit. Okay, bye for
Marvelous.
now.